Hey, what's up guys? Beef here with Tactical Baby Gear, and this is the special edition TBG VEER Switchback Stroller. Now this is an all-terrain stroller with oversized tires, adjustable suspension, a retractable, removable canopy with an extendable sunshade, a toddler seat that can be removed and used as a booster seat. The frame accepts up to 2 car seats, 2 switchback seats, or one and the other, a storage basket, and a killer fold. And once you get it all dirty, you can hose the whole thing out. So let's take a look at all of these things in more detail. All right, let's start from the ground and work our way up. I mentioned this is an all-terrain stroller. It's got the largest wheels in its class. Now this is a rubber tire. This is not a air-filled tube tire. You're not gonna have to worry about flat tires and pumping them up. They roll incredibly well over all different types of terrain. And then if you press this button here in the front, you can lock them straight or unlock them. So if you wanna do some jogging or whatever, you can get them locked into a straight position. And speaking of locking, right here at the back wheels, you've got the foot brake as you would expect, which is a very simple operation. Just one tap down to lock it, one tap to unlock it, just like that. Okay, so because it's all terrain, because we've got these big tires, you've got a good bit of ground clearance here. And part of the reason we can do that is because the frame kind of comes up nice and high. Now it cuts through the basket. So some people might look at that as a pro, some might look at that as a con. I like the separation and the division of it. I can keep some things I want in the front, and this helps, like if you want to put the tote bag or your backpack or something in the back, it'll help keep that division. But ultimately, by having the frame come up that high, it's not running below here, and that gives you that added ground clearance for the all-terrain aspect of it. The inside of the basket also has a few mesh pockets, so you can, organize some of your things a little bit more in there. Now moving up, all of this is going to travel through this adjustable suspension, and you've got 6 different positions of the suspension here. So depending on the terrain you're on, the weight of your child, if you've got 1 seat or 2 seats on this, you're going to want to adjust that sort of to meet those needs. And it's just as simple as turning the knob just like this. Now, since we're here, let's talk about the handle. The handle has an adjustment, a height adjustment here. So this is in the full upright position. I am about 5'9". You can see what this looks like. This is perfectly acceptable for someone who's 6'3", 6'4", like T-Dog here. And it goes all the way down the fully collapsed position, just like that. I would prefer to extend it even just a little bit if you don't need to, because it gets you a little bit further away and prevents you from kicking the stroller as you're walking. Just a little nugget there for you. On the side of the handle, you'll see these little nubs, and that is so that you can attach the cup holders. Now, VEER offers 2 different cup holders for this. They've got the Switchback specific cup holder, and then they have the Cruiser cup holder, and either one of them are compatible here. We prefer the Cruiser cup holder, so that's the one that we offer and sell on the website. We also have the Stroller caddy available that we designed, and it's got 2 insulated cup holders and an insulated cooler pouch, as well as a couple other pockets on the front of it that will give you a lot more options. Just behind the little knob for the cup holder is how you're gonna fold it. So to do the folding process, you'll pull your canopy back. I recommend extending the handle all the way. This will help it stand up on its own. We'll talk more about that in just a second. And then you're gonna release that little release there with your finger, and then you can close up the calf support. Now this is where you get into a little bit of those compromises. Because it's all-terrain, because it has the high ground clearance and that frame goes up through the basket, it allows this thing to fold really, really slim, and these front wheels can pass back almost behind the back wheels. Like, it's really narrow, which also means it's not going to be the most stable thing to stand on its own. Obviously it does stand on its own, but that's not the point. The point is to get it really, really small so that you can put it in the trunk of your car and take up less space. It's not necessarily designed to fold it and have it standing in the middle of a room by itself. So there's that. And then to unfold it, you'll just want to put that calf rest back in that position. Press this little release tab here. That's what keeps it locked and folded. And then you can just open it up just like that, and you are good to go. And one last thing to mention about the frame before we move on to the seat itself is that this is entirely made of aluminum. There are a few plastic things about it, like the little knob that holds the cup holder or the releases, but otherwise a completely aluminum frame. and the quality that you would expect from VEER, and you absolutely get what you pay for. Okay, the Switchback seat itself, this is really, really cool. As I mentioned before, the canopy is retractable. You saw that sort of briefly. It's got this peekaboo window, of course, so you can keep an eye on your kid in there or just create some ventilation. It's got an expandable sunshade, so this pulls out from inside, gives additional shade for their face or their eyes if the sun's coming down and getting in their face, obviously. So, and then this just pushes back and folds up inside just like that. And then it is also completely removable, just like this. And now that we've got that out of the way, I can give you a little bit better look at the seat itself. This has 5 positions, if I remember right. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different seating positions, so you can see from very reclined in a very nice napping position all the way to a very upright position where they can be more engaged with what's going on. You can remove this little handle and push this up to a table at a restaurant or something like that. If that is not an option, there is a snack tray accessory that you can buy that snaps in place of this handle, or the entire seat can be removed just like this. The calf rest gets folded back, and then this can be sat down and strapped down to a chair to create your own booster seat if you need to do that. So really, really cool. The back side of this seat has its own suspension built into it, so that's gonna help absorb some of those bumps and things like that. And then, of course, you've got the seat belts with adjustable height for when they are growing. The 5-point harness is fully adjustable for their size, and then a one-touch, easy release seat belt buckle. And one last thing about the seat is this seat pad is completely removable, as you can see here. So if you're going to the pool or you know you're gonna be wet, you could remove this cushion altogether, or it can be taken out, it can be washed, the seat can be hosed down, etc., etc. It can also be switched around and seated in this position if you think your baby wants to be looking at you, which a lot of times is very comforting, or you want to be able to have eyes on your baby if maybe they're snacking on something, you want to be able to see them. So anyways, very practical situation here. That is the toddler seat. Of course, this stroller is compatible with a typical car seat. So there are a set of car seat adapters just like this. They are specific to the seat that you are using. So this is the Nuna adapter. So if they just clip on like that, and then you can sit your car seat down on it just like that. Now there is an adapter set available that will allow you to put 2 car seats on the stroller frame. But here's what you need to know. When you set these up, and the lower ones clamp around the frame like this, the upper ones are going to sit on this mount just like this. But these are specific to the Switchback seat. So then you have to get a car seat adapter for each position. So if you want to put 2 Nuna seats on here, you need to get 2 sets of Nuna adapters. If you want to do a Nuna and a Britax, you'll need a Nuna adapter and a Britax adapter. You see what I'm going here. Otherwise, you can put 2 Switchback seats directly onto that 2-seat adapter mounts, just like this. And then in either one of these positions, you can switch the car seats to face any direction you want to either. So a lot of different options and versatility and how you put your 2 kids onto this stroller frame. I have been all over the country with this stroller, from the beach to the mountains and everywhere in between. I think you guys are gonna absolutely love this stroller. If you have any questions at all, shoot us an email to support@tacticalbabygear.com.